Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Film Freaks with a Z. That's right, the podcast all about movies. Today we did we're doing the fan vote movie, which is Groundhog Day. If you want to get in on the fan voting action, you can either send us an email at ff.filmfreakswithaz@gmail.com, or you can just comment on the latest YouTube video. We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, all that stuff. So if you want to, you can check us out in any of those locations as well. All right, without further ado, let's introduce ourselves. I am Yemmy the Ferret. Who am I here with?
Hello, everyone. Is I Greedy Waffle?
And Tay. Coco Gamer.
And we make up the quad of Film Freaks with a Z. Don't forget that Z. It's very important.
Yeah. Of course.
So, how's everyone doing this fine evening?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
Not too shabby.
Doing good.
I'm alright.
So did anyone wake up and feel like they've had deja vu today?
I did not, actually. Thank God.
All in the freaking time.
Speaking of deja vu, we watched the movie, of course, Groundhog Day, which was recommended to us by Jesse, who is at ShinyDude3 on Twitter. And you can also find him in the Discords as well if you want to talk to him there. He recommended that we watch Groundhog Day from 1993, directed by Harold Ramis. And a synopsis of the story is: he's having the worst day of his life over and over. A narcissistic TV weatherman, along with his attractive but distant producer and mawkish cameraman, is sent to report on Groundhog Day in the small town of Punxsutawney, where he finds himself repeating the same day over and 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 over again. Some of the cast includes the lovable Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, Chris Elliott, Stephen Tobolowsky, Brian Doyle Murray, Angela Patton, Rick Dokuman, Rick Overton, Robin Duke, and Willie Garrison, to name a few. So, I sent a message to Jesse, and he responded with this. He chose Groundhog's Day because I really like the moral of the movie. Life is short, and you gotta make the most out of every single day so you can have a better tomorrow. He likes that message. Did you guys get that message when you were watching it?
No, not really. I got the message of he's just trying to get with Rita. He just wants to bang Rita. That's the message I got.
A little bit like... so the movie actually follows the 5 stages of grief. If you guys didn't know that. So by the time he hits like the acceptance stage, he is a better person. But I don't know if I would say like whatever. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I didn't get that message.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like living your days to the fullest, but I mean, there's some days that he just wakes up and drops a toaster in the bathtub. That doesn't seem to be the message to me either. I feel like he spends most of his time just trying to bang different women.
Well, at first,
it wasn't
definitely
different.
does.
It was just one.
No, there was several. There were several different ones.
At the very beginning, it was several different ones. But towards the end, he started going, maybe I should better myself.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought the movie was somewhat creepy. The way he was just like using the last deja vu as an advantage to that day's deja vu. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just how creepy. Like, imagine some guy doing that nowadays. Like, that would be just. But it was like different to see dating world now compared to like what it was back then. Because like half of the things, even if it wasn't like deja vu, like just how like different it is, and like how girls would have thought things are creepy compared to like what they show in the movie.
Very true.
Yeah. The most creepiest part is when they're making that snowman for the second time, and he's just like he's just trying to get things to speed up. You know, he's like, I love kids, yay kids, I love kids, and he moves on. He's like, kids, I really want kids, and then she falls over. He's like, oh, hold on.
You can tell at that point she's creeped out.
Yeah, Bill Murray's character just came off as such a creep that I couldn't like him even at the end of the movie. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
Yeah, I just see where you're going. Yeah,
Because even
I can agree with that.
I know we usually talk about the end of the movie before the beginning, anyways. But at the end of the movie, he just seems like the same guy. Like he's saying some of the same things, even though he kind of shows some different things. But he isn't really acting any different than when he was trying to get in bed with the first lady. He's just saying all the right things, and he's got that suave attitude to him. And it's hard for me to believe that he actually changed during the movie when, I don't know, they really show it. Because even at the end, when everyone's like complimenting him and stuff like that, it just seems like he's just doing the Groundhog Day, the deja vu.
Now, like, maybe I missed it, but was the reason he got out of the deja vu is because he finally got with that Rita girl? Is that like why he got out of it? Like, what was the moral of the story of the reason why he got out of it?
Well, I mean, he did become a better person. Like, he's still kind of a jerk, but he was. I think there was a turning point where like he realizes with Rita, she says something where he's just like, "Oh shit, yeah, I guess I should do better just in case." And so you can see like he saves everyone, kid falling from a tree, the old ladies, like that
choking.
Yeah, the guy choking. That wasn't just like a one-off. He just saved them then. He started saving them every day for thousands of years, probably.
See, I think they focused so much on the Ritas and like him trying to get with her that I just lost lost sight of like that message.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, I do feel like they needed more antics of him figuring out the different ways to save these people and stuff like that, because they focused a little bit with the old man, and that was kind of like, well, I tried a few days in a row, and I guess it's just inevitable. But it really would have been cool to see like how he, stumbled upon the guy dropping the pennies, and he's able to snatch the duffel bag of money, or maybe later on when the kid's falling, explain how I don't know. It's just little things like that could have been like short little scenes that you go, oh. And this all culminates into the last one. But the last one just kind of happens, and you go, okay, I understand that he has been doing this day over and over, and he's obviously been, planning this stuff out. But it would have been nice to see a little bit of like trial and error with a lot of the things.
Yeah.
At the end, when he wakes up out of the deja vu, the repeat. It was just so weird to like see how happy he was, and I don't know. It was just like maybe the acting, which I know Bill Murray's a great actor, but it just seemed like it's all fake. It was just like, yeah, I love this town. Let's stay here. I was like, oh, what?
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying before when I was getting. When I said he was, it didn't seem genuine. It just kind of seemed like he was still doing the same shtick.
Yep. Who knows?
I can see that.
But there's a few movies now that have kind of copied this. Well, not really copied, but they've taken this formula and put it into their own ways. Two movies that come to mind, of course, are Happy Death Day and Edge of Tomorrow. And in those two movies, they do like the best day, like how Bill Murray's best day, it ended the deja vu. But in those movies, it seems like the best day came before the day ended. So in like Happy Death Day, the girl goes around and does all this great stuff for people, and then at the end, she doesn't actually kill the real killer, and then the day repeats, and she discovers the real killer is in the morning, and she doesn't live the rest of the day. And it's like, okay, so why does this... Because in that movie, there was a dude that was her love interest, and he just automatically fell in love with her, even though they didn't spend the whole day together. And kind of the same thing happens in Edge of Tomorrow, where Tom Cruise...
Spoilers from these movies, man. I haven't seen
really.
them yet.
You haven't seen Happy Death Day or Edge of Tomorrow?
Not yet.
I've seen
no.
Edge of Tomorrow, but I haven't seen Happy Death Day.
Oh, fine. Then my point is moot. Either way, those movies, the best day doesn't happen on the last day, but it's good to see that this movie, the best day is actually on the last day. That's all I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, there's a lot of TV shows, copied this too as well, especially right after this. there's always that one episode like, oh, it's the Groundhog Day episode where somebody's just repeating their day until they finally figure out how to solve the problem they're having. I know Stargate, I think, did one. Xena did one. There's probably a bunch of others, but
I remember there being like a deja vu TV series back when Lost was around, but I don't remember what it was exactly called. I don't know if it was. I don't know. I remember watching like the first episode, and in the first episode, you could see where where exactly the show was gonna go, and it was like, no need to watch the rest of it.
I mean, isn't there an episode in Black Mirror, the Netflix thing, where it's like Groundhog's Day, where the girl was just stuck in a loop?
probably.
I don't
I
remember.
haven't watched Black Mirror.
It
I don't watch
seems
Black Mirror.
it seems likely that would be an episode. I kind of remember something like that. Oh yeah, in the first season. In the first season, it's the one where she's like stuck in the town and she doesn't know who she is. Okay, that's the one.
Maybe that's what you're thinking. Yeah.
Mm.
That was a creepy episode.
Aren't they all?
Well, you're not wrong.
What I wanted to talk about is that throughout the movie, I was trying to figure out what exactly kind of caused this time loop, because I'm just saying like a random blizzard come by and that because I think that's what the story was going for. Like the blizzard was not supposed to happen and it just happened and that causes a time loop, but still, like, it doesn't really make sense that anything would cause a time loop, really.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to make sense. I
No.
don't think it was Blizzard. I think it was just a time loop happened to was supposed to. I mean, you could say like an act of God or something to make him a better person, but
How many of you thought he was gonna get out of his time loop once he killed the groundhog? Or tried, I should say.
You know, that would have been a dark ending. But I was, yeah.
I
mean,
would have liked it.
Obviously, this is the second time I watched the movies, and I don't think either time I was fooled by it. But I could see someone getting fooled by that, going, "Oh, maybe that'll work."
Eh,
then
not
you
the
look at the
Groundhog.
runtime of the movie and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's still another hour left."
Yeah.
I do find it weird that one time that he committed not live. I think it was in the bathtub scene, and then he showed up in the morgue. So does the day keep
No,
going?
that was when he jumped off.
Well, does the day keep going after he's dead and then resets at night, or
I think it's like a certain lock. Like it's like it's 6 o'clock and then like in the morning. Then like after I guess like when it's like 6 o'clock hits, everything resets into the next day.
Yeah.
Everything, I guess. Well, not next day, the same day.
yeah, because it's
It's
weird because
just
they
a
never
time lock.
showed something like that again throughout the entire movie of
Yeah, that was that
after
one
he
scene
died
that he
or
just
something.
died.
Yeah, but kind of
Yeah.
adds a little bit more lore to the story, huh?
Yeah. He also claims that he's like, oh, I hanged, I did all that, but it's like, we haven't seen you do that. Like, we've seen a couple of times you try to kill yourself, but we have never seen you. We haven't actually seen your body, except for one. I'm just saying, it's like, isn't someone bound to actually report his death?
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter anyways because he just wakes up the next day.
Yeah.
To him, it's instantaneous. He dies and then wakes up.
Yeah.
The one thing, that always kind of like that I always figured, is he buys all that insurance from the one guy, from Ned,
Mhm.
and I'm guaranteed the next day he went, oh crap, it's the next day I gotta cancel all that shit because I don't have the money for all that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of? Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that would be that should have been like the first thing when he woke up and like, oh damn, calls up
Forget
Ned.
the girl.
Yeah, forget the girl. Runs out of there. He starts running away. He's like, fuck Punxsutawney, and then Groundhog. Then that's when Groundhog's Day 2 starts, right?
Oh
yeah.
jeez.
Oh, man. Imagine
February
that.
3rd.
What do you guys think of the camera guy?
Larry.
You know, I
Right,
liked him
yeah.
at the beginning, and then they turned him into a major creep at the end.
Yes.
It was
It's
so
like he-
unfortunate.
At the beginning, he wasn't really after I can't remember his character's name, but I'd have to Bill say But in halfway through the movie, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's just like awful when he's just an asshole, really." So I'm like, even when he's there, he'll be missed. It's such a lie to him because apparently he just hates him. It's hates guts now.
Yeah, I think the weird thing is that like it's almost like they had to make a new asshole for the movie, you know? Like
Yeah.
Phil's
Since they
getting
did-
better, but the cameraman now he's a dirty, sleazy, you know, whatever
Yeah.
creep.
Exactly. I'm just like, what? Where are you going with this? You're going... And then, like at the end, when he's actually doing nice stuff, he's like, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "What?"
Did you guys get annoyed by how there was 3 opening credit rolls for the movie?
Oh yeah.
Was there? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I didn't notice either.
Well, there was the one in the sky, then there was
Yeah,
then that stopped, and when the news scene happened, then after that, they did another credit roll when they were driving to Punxsutawney, and then they
Yeah.
had a scene where there was no credits, and then the scene after that, once again they started up a credit roll. I'm like, okay, I understand a lot of people worked on this movie, but they can wait till the after credits,
And-
right?
yeah.
The end.
Just show it all in the end. We don't need it all in the beginning.
You saying that makes brings up funny because just imagine CinemaSins, sending that.
Yeah. Well,
Narration.
Yeah, logos. 60 seconds of logos, 3 different spots.
5 minutes of opening
Add 100
credits.
cents.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean that's just how they did movies. I mean, '90s you started seeing a little less, but yeah, they used to always put credits at the beginning.
I
hate
don't
it.
mind. I don't mind credits at the beginning, but I just think like this one just it seemed to go on for like I said, like
Yeah, way too
five,
much.
5 minutes into the movie, and we're still getting credits rolling, and it's like, all right,
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind
Star
of like
Wars.
a Hideo Kojima game where he has to put his name like 15 times in the opening, and then you're like, I get it, it's a Hideo Kojima game, thank you.
And the credits continue throughout the whole movie.
Right. So, let's say we all were in a Groundhog Day. What would you guys try to do to get out of that Groundhog Day? Just think about your normal lives.
Mm.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I have no idea either.
Well, I would try to do. That's difficult. I mean, especially if it was a Groundhog Day right now during the quarantine.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, well, I wouldn't do anything. Well, I'd leave the house. I
You'd
would
cure
leave the house.
the coronavirus.
No, I'd probably go out and just like get in trouble like he did real quick with the cops and just wake up and do it again the next day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Go
like
out, break into Chipotle, make myself food.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do whatever because it just rewinds and Nora's a memory.
The only thing that sucks is like some of the places that you would want to go would be like, okay, so it's a 4-hour drive or a 2-hour flight, and you have to book the flight in advance.
8
Well,
hours.
you steal a helicopter.
That you just happen to know how to drive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I get.
sure. You
Well, yeah, you
learn.
could take.
You
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
piano. And
Over
Play
a
it that
day,
way.
so you just try and try again, and so you actually get it fine. You have to win that steer.
The first
see,
day.
that's the
yeah.
yeah. So since we brought that up, I did actually want to mention this: is how does he remember like all the skills he learned, even though the day is supposed to be starting over?
His memory doesn't, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I guess everything about him does not really change, except that he's doing it over and over, but everything else does. I don't know why he's singled out with his memory, but it's just how movie wanted to flow. So, yeah,
Because
he's fine.
He's a god.
No one else does this.
Like, let's
Yeah,
say he
Murphy
got
is a
jacked in one day, and then the next day he stayed jacked. Then I'd be kind of scratching my head, but the memory thing, I mean, in the context of the movie, makes sense that he can remember how to play piano so well.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not-
Otherwise, he wouldn't know I mean, for all we know, maybe we do repeat days, but we don't retain the memory. So
Yeah. Or someone's
There you
just
go.
swimming the same day over and over again.
Well, yeah, they do say when you feel deja vu, it means that you were there in another life,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it could just be you are stuck in a time loop and you don't remember.
Or there's a same scenario happening in an alternate universe.
Yeah.
I want to travel to a different universe because I don't like this one.
Yeah, can I go to a different universe?
So you want to go to the universe where the Nazis are still in control, huh?
Oh, I know that
That's
one.
universe.
FX.
Too political take.
I know.
The fact that I watched Flash, I know how that goes down.
I watched Futurama. I know alternate universes like the back of my hand.
Well, it's not actual how multiverse would show in this universe, but it
Coco,
would seem like how...
I watch Rick and Morty. Okay. So...
Oh man.
Anyways, Groundhog's Day.
Wait, didn't we already talk about this? Get it. Anyways.
Can you guys mute your mics for the intro?
For the outro?
No, the intro. We haven't done any of the recording
right.
yet. Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
You gotta start all.
Yeah, well, I guess you're doing this.
All right. If someone's listening and not paying attention, we're gonna really fuck with them. Let's actually do it.
Let's do it.
Hey everyone, it's me, Yemmy the Ferret here, and I'm with we're doing another episode of Film Freakz with a Z. The podcast all about movies with a Z. Today we're watching Groundhog's Day, which was the winner of the fan vote. Without further ado, let's introduce ourselves, alright? I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I'm here with...
Hello, it is I, Greedy Waffle.
And Tay.
Coco Gamer.
How y'all doing today?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
All right. Yeah, not too bad myself.
I'm doing good.
So let's have some deja vu and talk about Groundhog Day, which is from 1990. All right, that's far enough.
I don't wanna.
Really screw some people after.
I really hope someone goes, wait a second, what happened?
My phone glitch.
That happens to me a lot on Spotify though, where for some reason it'll restart randomly.
Episodes?
I just feel like I'm a part of Groundhog's Day. Yeah, only with Spotify though.
Spotify is going to get you into a time loop.
Well, like my car will, like if I turn on my car, Spotify will start automatically, and then if I open the app within my phone, sometimes Spotify will go back to originally where I was at. So I could be listening to like 20 minutes of something, then open Spotify and it goes back to like the 5-minute mark.
Oh, it sucks so much.
Oh wow.
Happens to me too.
Yeah.
Spotify is really buggy, I gotta say.
Now take that small annoyance and multiply it into a full day, and that's what Bill Murray went through.
Yeah.
I wonder if you did go start getting annoyed on set, being like, "God damn it, we already did this scene."
He's just like, just replay the first scene over and over again.
That does remind me. I think it was either the second or the third day that Phil gets up. He leaves the building much faster than the first or second day, but things still happen in the same order at the same time. I don't know.
Yes, that was weird.
I was hoping that they would actually make things happen a little bit out of sync, but I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter too much. It's just it was a little bit of a head scratcher for me because I was like, oh, he left right away instead of doing his hair and getting clothes and dressed and talking to that guy in the stairway.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is actually the second day. He looks out the window about 5 seconds later than he did the first day, but it's the exact same scene. Like cars are in the exact same place, even though they technically should have been 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one I know. So I was just like, come on, you guys can't just play that scene 5 seconds ahead.
Just a little extra time in the editing booth would have solved this problem.
They show you the time's just screwed up.
Or it shows you you wouldn't been able. Some people would have gone like, well, it's not the same as yesterday.
Well, I think that would have been a good fake out for the second day because then he could go into the stairs and he would see the guy again and.
Yeah, I would show you that's the same day.
Yeah, I think that would have worked a little bit better to try and trick the audience a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. But we're not Harold Ramis in 1994, so we don't get to make those decisions.
Yeah. We must go back.
Yeah. Must stop this movie from ever existing.
No, we're just gonna fix it up a little bit. Give it a reboot.
Yeah, do an HD remaster. Do
Oh
a few
my.
tweaks to it, Just like the Modern Warfare 2 campaign remaster. Just do a few little things to it, touch it up, Make,
Groundhog
make
Day.
Phil less creepy.
Remastered.
Yeah, Groundhog Day movie remastered. Everyone would love it.
Jeez.
DLC for Groundhog Day 2.
EA is now taking over this.
Did you guys know that there was actually a VR game based off of this movie?
I
Really?
did not.
Yeah, it's literally just called Groundhog Day, like father like son, and it actually follows, I believe, it follows his son going to Punxsutawney,
I do remember that.
yeah, you're playing as a VR version of him. You're Phil Connors Jr. and you go back to Punxsutawney in a virtual reality game. I didn't hear
kinda
much
weird.
about it after it came out, but I thought that it was kind of a funny concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought they lived in Punxsutawney there at the end. So why did he have to go back?
Maybe they couldn't find a good enough deal on a house.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they realized, oh wait, our jobs are in Pittsburgh. Maybe we shouldn't leave Pittsburgh.
Yeah. All right. Anyone have anything else they want to mention about the movie?
I do not.
Really? No.
All right. So let's go through and give our final thoughts and ratings. Who wants to go first?
You go first, Yemmy.
Oh, sure. So, all in all, I did like the movie. I don't think I'd watch it again though. I think a second watching was good enough for me. I didn't like as we were saying. I felt like Phil was still as big as a creep at the beginning as he was at the end. I didn't really see his character change enough during the movie to warrant him getting a redemption arc. I also didn't like what they did to the cameraman, making him the creep instead of Phil, even though the cameraman was actually kind of cool in the beginning. Whatever. Just the whole vibe of the movie's pretty good, and it was an enjoyable watch. But like I said, I wouldn't watch it again. I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, I'll go next. So I thought this movie was going to be very redundant, no pun intended. But they actually did do a good job of making it entertaining. Like one day with that old friend he met, Ned. Him one day, beating him up for no shits and giggles, and then the next day he's all like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" So that was pretty entertaining. Like the small stuff that they changed, each day, they were actually pretty entertaining. And I do agree a lot with Yummy and how Phil was a little bit of a creep, using the last deja vu as an advantage to the next day. And overall, I think I'll give it a 3 out of 5 too.
I like I said, this was, I think, I don't know if it was my dad's favorite movie or anything, but he really enjoyed this movie. So I saw it a bunch growing up, and I still really enjoy it today. Like you said, they did a really good job of keeping it interesting, changing it up. But I do agree with Yemi that they could have done a better job at showing his redemption instead of just like one day something. Oh, suddenly now he's supposed to be a nice person, but it's like you didn't show that gradual change really. So he still comes off a little creepy. But yeah, overall, still really enjoy the movie. I'd probably give it a 3.5.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you all saying that he didn't really change at all. I'd say for his time movie, and yeah, he's definitely a creep, and did not like. I did enjoy the movie. There were some parts I laughed at, but and like when he changed the cameraman's attitude like in a whole. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, seems like we're all on the same page. Once again, thank you to Jesse for recommending the movie for us to watch, and he won the fan vote. So if you, the listener and or watcher, want to join in on the next fan vote, which will be after, the fan vote is after Tay's episode of Film Freaks, so it comes up on the same day. So it's probably going to be in about 3 or so episodes. You can join in by either emailing us at ff.filmfreaks@gmail.com, or you can just comment on the latest YouTube Video, and we will add your movie to the list. I think that's it for today, and I have a movie to recommend. So let's go ahead and do that. So the movie that I want to recommend today is a movie that I watched during a time when I loved, and I still do, when I loved the Lord, like I was obsessed with the Lord of the Rings. When Peter Jackson's original trilogy came out, Nick and I were both really into it. I actually got Nick into Lord of the Rings. A little bit of lore there. Obviously, the original trilogy for the Lord of the Rings is, I would say, as close to perfect as you can get.
Yeah.
But the Hobbit movies are just kind of lazily done and poorly written. So I want to go back to a movie that was before Peter Jackson's time. It's an animated movie from 1977 called The Hobbit.
The animated Hobbit?
The Animated Hobbit.
Love that movie.
It was directed by Jules Bass and Arthur Rankin Jr. Let's do a little synopsis of the story. Bilbo Baggins, the Hobbit, was just minding his own business when his occasional visitor Gandalf the Wizard drops in one night. One by one, a whole group of dwarves drop in, and before he knows it, Bilbo has joined their quest to reclaim their kingdom, taken from them by an evil dragon named Smaug. The only problem is, Gandalf has told the dwarves that Bilbo is an excellent burglar, but he isn't. This movie stars Orson Bean, Richard Boone, Hans Conried, John Huston, Otto Preminger, Cyril Richard, Brother Theodore, Paul Frees, Don Messick, and John Stevenson. And as you guys probably already have guessed, it's based off of the book. And I think that I haven't seen it. Like I said, I haven't seen it since back in the day. But I remember it following the book a lot better than the new Hobbit series.
So, fun thing about this, my wife actually owns a book. It's The Hobbit, but it's all animated with pictures from this cartoon.
Oh, nice.
So it does. I'm pretty sure it follows the book pretty damn good.
Well, we can talk about it more when we do the episode. But I remember the first movie in the trilogy, in the new trilogy, the Hobbit trilogy, being like pretty close to the book, and then it just kind of fell off after that. So it'll be interesting to see how one movie did better than an entire trilogy of movies. Where can you find it? Amazon, Google Play, YouTube, Vudu, Redbox, and PlayStation and Xbox. I'm pretty sure you can also find it on there as well.
I don't think I've ever seen this one, so I'm excited.
And never seen it either.
Yeah,
I saw it a long, long time ago.
I'm really excited because, as you know, as I said, big Lord of the Rings fan, and this is one of those movies that I watched when I was like in high school, and I was like, I don't get it, I don't like it. I like the Lord, I like Two Towers, I like Return of the King, So it'd be fun to go back and watch it. Yeah.
It's the same time I'm finding around those trilogy movies, or is it shorter?
And special guests will be coming on the Film Freakz next episode, who I invited just for this movie. And his name is Odom K, or Odom. He's going to be joining us. He's a Twitch streamer who does a lot of art streams. And this movie has a very interesting art style, so it's going to be cool to hear his thoughts about the movie and how it looks. So we're all looking forward to that as well.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to say before we skedaddle?
I got nothing.
All right.
I got nothing. What is that noise?
Just ignore it.
All right, so let's go ahead and close out the podcast. Thank you all for listening and watching, if you watch on the YouTube or if you're on the podcast video audio-only version. I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with...
Grady Waffle.
Animation.
Coco Gamer.
And we are Film Freakz with a Z. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.